The drama begins with our female lead, Lucy, a village girl who is cooking fish for herself. Just as she is about to eat, lightning suddenly strikes her, and she dies. As the Grim Reapers arrive to take Lucy's soul, she realizes what has happened and protests, insisting that they must be mistaken. She argues that as a powerful magician, a simple lightning strike couldn't possibly kill her. However, the Grim Reapers assure her that they don't make mistakes, showing her name written in the Book of Life and Death. Lucy, refusing to accept her fate, insists that they have confused her with someone else. After checking again, the Reapers realize their mistake and apologize. One of them informs Lucy that since her body is now destroyed, it will take 100 years to rebuild it. Shocked, Lucy exclaims in frustration, wondering if she will have to go without good food for a century. Determined to fight back, she threatens to file a case against them. In response, the Reapers quickly propose a solution. They offer to reverse her fate and promise that she will be reborn into a life of wealth and abundance, where she will have plenty of food and money. Excited by the offer, Lucy agrees, and the angel grants her a new life. In her rebirth, Lucy finds herself in the body of another girl. The male lead, Henry, is holding her hand, forcing her to sign divorce papers. When she refuses, he coldly insists that she must sign them today. Instead of complying, Lucy slaps him and uses her magic to turn him into a statue. Curious about her surroundings, she touches various objects, turning them into statues as well. When the TV suddenly turns on, Lucy is fascinated by it and starts exploring the room. However, when she catches a glimpse of her new face, she is so shocked that she almost faints. She steadies herself and, regaining control, playfully pinches Henry's cheek while dancing. Through her magical abilities, Lucy quickly learns everything about the girl whose body she now inhabits. Meanwhile, Henry brings her home and coldly informs her that he only married her due to his grandfather's pressure and that she should not expect their marriage to be real. He treats her harshly, suspecting that she drugged him. Henry is in love with another woman, Lynn, and spends all his time with her, completely ignoring his wife. Seeing this, Lucy becomes furious and decides to take revenge. She reverses Henry's statue transformation and watches as he wonders why his cheek is hurting. As she looks at the divorce papers, Lucy realizes that divorcing Henry would be beneficial. She imagines a life of freedom and wonders why she would want to stay married to a cheater when so many better men exist. Henry suddenly hears Lucy's thoughts, confused about how he can hear her inner voice. Lucy, still deep in thought, starts calculating how much money she should demand in the divorce settlement. Amused, Henry tells her he will give her 100 million. Shocked and overjoyed, Lucy immediately signs the divorce papers and hands them over, eagerly asking when she will receive her money. She internally celebrates, thinking that 100 million would be enough to enjoy life for not just 1 but 3 lifetimes. Observing her excitement, Henry starts to doubt whether she ever truly loved him, suspecting that she married him solely for money. Just then, his girlfriend, Lynn, arrives. Henry asks why she's there, and Lynn sweetly responds that she just wanted to see him, unaware that Lucy would also be present. She proudly announces that she has brought soup for Henry and tells him that it took her 8 hours to prepare. Lucy scoffs internally, calculating that if it is currently 11 p.m., Lynn must have started cooking at 3 a.m., which seems absurd. She sarcastically mocks Lynn in her mind, calling her foolish. Meanwhile, Henry, still unintentionally eavesdropping on Lucy's thoughts, listens as she confidently claims she can cook a far better soup, one that would heal all illnesses and restore perfect health. Suddenly, she senses something ominous and warns Henry that he might suffer something terrible today, perhaps even die from food poisoning. Henry dismisses her warning, accusing her of being jealous of Lynn. He praises Lynn as an excellent chef, revealing that he has even entrusted her with running his restaurant, which earns him a profit of 10 million every month. Annoyed, Lucy cuts off his boasting and demands her money. Lynn, on the other hand, tries to mediate, gently telling Henry not to be so harsh on Lucy. She then proceeds to offer Lucy the soup, setting the stage for another unexpected twist. Lucy uses her magic to foresee that Lynn will pretend to offer her soup, spill it intentionally, and blame Lucy for burning her hand. What a clever girl, Lucy thinks. But only fools like Henry fall for such acting. Hearing Lucy's thoughts, Henry wonders if Lynn could really do such a thing. She doesn't seem like the type to frame someone. However, as predicted, Lynn deliberately makes Lucy fall while pretending to serve soup and accuses her of spilling it. Henry is stunned that Lucy's words came true. Henry quickly calls his attendant, instructing him to take Lynn for a medical checkup. Lynn, concerned about an upcoming competition in 3 days, insists on staying, but Henry urges her to go. Before leaving, Lynn asks if Lucy has signed the divorce papers. Holding them up, Henry declares that there's no rush for a divorce. Lynn leaves, and Henry, now suspicious, realizes Lynn might not be as innocent as he thought. Meanwhile, he can hear Lucy's thoughts, so he decides to slow things down and investigate. Lucy demands her money, stretching out her hand, but Henry rips up the divorce papers instead. Furious, Lucy accuses him of breaking his promise, insisting she deserves payment for saving his life. Henry dismisses her claims, calling her a fraud, then grabs her hand and insists she come home with him. When they reach the car, Lucy uses magic to levitate onto its roof. Henry demands she come down, and she floats back, warning him that in an hour, something bad will happen to him. She offers to prevent it for 2,000 rupees, but he refuses. Just then, a dog charges toward Lucy, who hides behind Henry. The dog bites him instead, forcing Henry to call a doctor for a vaccine. News of the incident reaches his mother and sister, Xiao, who rush to see him. His mother, worried, asks how he got bitten. Lucy quips, "The dog suffered more, it broke a tooth." Shocked, Henry's mother turns to Xiao, who then confronts Lucy about why she's still here. Using magic, Lucy learns Xiao is dating a fraud who poses as a professor. Enraged, Xiao tries to attack Lucy, but Henry intervenes. Gesturing subtly, he confirms Lucy's revelations are true. Xiao faints from shock, and Lucy revives her with magic, demanding payment. Henry orders his staff to transfer the money, making Lucy ecstatic. She never imagined she could earn money so easily. Henry's mother, suspicious, scolds Lucy for her tricks. Lucy foresees Xiao's future heartbreak and financial ruin, revealing that Xiao's husband had cheated on her for years. As the truth sinks in, Henry's mother rushes outside to process it. Lucy notes that it's too late, her husband has been unfaithful for years. Overcome with emotion, Henry's mother begins to cry. At that moment, Lynn arrives, pretending concern over Henry's injury. He reassures her that her hand must heal in time for the upcoming competition. His mother, determined to uphold the family legacy, announces her own participation. Meanwhile, Henry's grandfather, also a competition judge, expresses confidence that either Henry's mother or Lynn will win, ensuring the restaurant's success. Pleased by his faith in her, Lynn vows to do her best. Turning to Lucy, Lynn apologizes for the earlier incident. Xiao, confused, demands details. Lucy retorts, "Were you a mosquito in your past life? You never stop talking." Xiao yells back, "If she's a mosquito, what kind of animal are you?" Lucy smirks, thinking, why argue? This poor girl will suffer later, and Lynn will side with the man who ruins her life. Xiao, enraged, turns on Lynn, demanding if it's true. Meanwhile, Lynn offers Henry's mother a special skin cream from a friend abroad, claiming it will enhance her beauty. However, using magic, Lucy uncovers a sinister truth: the cream was given to Lynn by a rival chef who wants Henry's mother out of the competition. It's designed to ruin her face and hands beyond medical repair. Lucy warns Henry's mother not to use the cream, but Henry refuses to believe it, defending Lynn. "She's my brother's girlfriend, why would she harm my mom?" Lynn, feigning innocence, accuses Lucy of jealousy. Henry, irritated, questions Lucy's motives. "Do you think slandering Lynn will make me like you?" He scoffs. Lucy rolls her eyes. "Have you lost your mind? I'd go crazy before falling for you." Lynn, playing the victim, appeals to Henry's mother. "You trust me, don't you?" she pleads. The mother hesitates but ultimately assures Lynn of her faith. Lynn is shocked and says, "Am I jealous of you?" She quickly grabs Lynn's cream and is about to apply it, saying, "You were saying this is a good cream, so give it to me. I'll take care of your skin." "What's wrong with that?" Lucy tries to apply it, but Lynn desperately tries to escape, thinking that if it gets on her face, her skin will be ruined. Seeing this struggle, Lynn's mother and sister start suspecting that something is really wrong with the cream. They watch as the two continue to fight until Lucy finally manages to apply it to Lynn's face, causing her hair to break. Furious, Lynn storms out, and Henry tries to stop her, but Lucy, smirking, thinks to herself that Lynn ran away because her face is about to be ruined. She sarcastically tells Henry, "Go ahead, follow her. Marry her quickly, bankroll your company, and let your whole family collapse. That's your fate." Hearing this, Henry stops in his tracks and orders his assistant to follow Lynn. Henry's mother then asks about Lynn, wondering if she was really going to harm her. Henry replies, "Mom, the competition is in 3 days. We'll find out then." He then tells Lucy to go home, but when she asks if he's coming, he refuses. Lucy, relieved, thinks, "Good. I didn't want him to come home anyway. Now I get the whole bed to myself." However, Henry changes his mind, saying, "I also need to rest. We'll go home together," and takes her hand, leading her away. Xiao comments to her mother, "Don't you think Lucy has changed?" Her mother agrees. Meanwhile, Lucy admires herself in the mirror, saying she looks great even in this condition. Henry calls her, asking when she plans to leave. Lucy excitedly opens the door, and Henry, staring at her, thinks she has beautiful eyes. However, Lucy, in her mind, complains that she dislikes him. Henry, offended, snaps, "You don't behave like a girl at all. No makeup, no self-care. You're nothing compared to Lynn." Lucy smirks and replies, "You're right. I can't be compared to her." Henry, regretting his words, reminds himself that she is his grandfather's friend's granddaughter and deserves better treatment. To make amends, he gives her a card loaded with $1 million and tells her to buy whatever she wants. Overjoyed, Lucy praises him and even makes room for him to lie down properly, covering him with a blanket. That night, Lucy struggles to sleep, craving fish. She grumbles about being misled into thinking she would get good food here and fantasizes about different cakes and dishes. Hearing her thoughts, Henry's sleep is disturbed. Annoyed but considerate, he calls his assistant and orders all the dishes she wants. When the food arrives, Lucy is ecstatic and quickly starts eating. Henry warns, "Eat slowly, no one is going to snatch your food." Watching her, he thinks, how can someone change so much? As if she's a different person? Henry cleans and serves seafood to her while Lucy happily eats. Once she's full, she takes a plate of fish with her and heads to her room. The next morning, two maids wake Lucy, telling her to get ready for the competition. However, Lucy refuses to wake up. They gossip about how she is clinging to their boss and refusing a divorce. Irritated, Lucy uses her magic to silence them. She warns, "You'll only be able to speak once you stop gossiping." Looking in the mirror, she wonders, is this face really that ugly? Deciding to improve it, she performs a magic spell in front of the maids, drinks the potion, and shocks them with her transformed appearance. Meanwhile, at the competition, Lynn's mother and sister observe her and comment, "Her face looks fine." Lynn, overhearing, defends herself, thinking, "I'm not that evil. Luckily, I had the antidote, or my face would have been ruined." Just then, a girl arrives with several guards, representing a rival team that lost the first round. She is a skilled fighter and begins attacking Henry's guards, who are unable to stand against her. Meanwhile, Lucy, now fully prepared, teleports to the competition but is stopped by security, who mistake her for a cleaner. Realizing Henry is in trouble, she sneaks in and witnesses the fight. Seeing Henry's team struggling, she worries, "If he loses money, I'll also lose money." She steps in to fight for Henry, stunning everyone with her skills. Even the fierce opponent struggles against her, and her comedic fighting style makes people laugh. Henry watches in awe, thinking, "I never tried to know her before, but the more I do, the more I like her." Enraged by Lucy's skill, the opponent tries to humiliate her by removing her mask. As Lucy is about to fall, Henry rushes to catch her. At that moment, the opponent removes Lucy's mask, revealing her transformed face. Henry and his entire family are shocked. Henry's mother gasps, "How did she become so beautiful overnight?" She eagerly asks Lucy, "What did you apply on your face? Give it to me too." Lucy smirks, "Sure, but it'll cost you 2,000. Henry's mother immediately agrees to the deal. Lynn accuses, you must have gotten plastic surgery last night. Lucy retorts, I know I look more beautiful than you. That's why you're jealous. Triumphant, Lynn declares that she won't hold Lucy's false accusations against her. Lynn is furious, wondering how Lucy could look more beautiful than her. She thinks Lucy must be pretending. Then she says, even if you look better than me, so what? The person you love still loves me, right? Meanwhile, Lucy asks Jan for money, claiming he helped her in the fight. Jan immediately demands 2 lakhs, which frustrates her, as it is much more than the 2,000 she expected. She grins, thinking about all the good food she can buy with it. The defeated girl scoffs, fine, I'm leaving now. But wait and see, you may have won the fight, but you won't win the cooking competition. Shahini then reveals, you wanted to know what my connection with Lucy is? She's my wife. The girl leaves with her guards. And Shahini smirks, knowing their rivals are now nervous. She then excitedly discusses the upcoming Master Chef competition, explaining that the winner will receive 1 million. Lucy's eyes sparkle at the thought of money, and she asks if she can participate. Lynn immediately mocks her, saying, do you even know how to cook? We've tasted your food, it's awful. Lucy retorts, why are you comparing yourself to me? You're neither as beautiful nor as skilled as I am. But yes, you excel at one thing, seducing men by acting cute. Turning to Henry, she demands, how can you let her compete? She knows nothing. She'll embarrass us. Henry calmly responds, if my wife wants to participate, I'll let her. Lucy grins, excited about the prize money. However, Lynn protests until Henry's grandfather arrives and declares, if my granddaughter-in-law wants to compete, then it's a yes from me. Henry's mom rushes to Grandpa, worried about his health. He replies, if I hadn't come, I wouldn't have known that our rivals were causing trouble. She praises Lucy for defending them, and Grandpa thanks her for saving the competition. Lucy, however, senses something off about Grandpa's health. Though he looks strong, she feels he doesn't have much time left. Henry, noticing her concern, asks, can you save Grandpa? Grandpa, hearing their thoughts, questions Henry's mother, did you tell them? She nods. Lynn scoffs, why are you asking this girl to cure Grandpa? What does she know? Lucy waves her hand, pushing Lynn aside, and tells Grandpa, let's go home. Henry starts to follow, but Lynn stops him. He reassures her, you should focus on preparing for your competition, then leaves with Lucy and his family. Furious, Lynn calls their rival, reporting her failure. The rival, angered, slaps her and yells, you couldn't handle one girl? Lynn defends herself, saying, Shun's wife is powerful, I couldn't defeat her. Intrigued, the man murmurs, she seems interesting. I'd like to meet her. At home, Lucy paces the room before turning to Grandpa. Since when have you been sick? He replies, 6 years. Lucy uses her magic and announces, you're not sick. Someone put a curse on you. Everyone is shocked. To investigate, they follow Lucy to Grandpa's room. She takes out a knife and says, I need some of your blood to perform magic. Henry quickly says, I'll do it, and pricks Grandpa's hand. Grandpa yells, what are you doing? Trying to kill me? Henry apologizes, explaining that Lucy told him to do it. Lucy performs her magic and identifies the cause, an enchanted pot. Grandpa recalls, someone gifted it to me. Henry scoffs, what could be wrong with a pot? Are you making up stories? Lucy smashes it, revealing the curse inside. Grandpa gasps, Henry's father gifted this to me. Is he trying to kill me? He realizes it must be a plot for his wealth. Henry's mother anxiously asks Lucy, can you save him? Lucy smirks, of course. But I need 30 million. Without hesitation, Henry agrees. Lucy beams, delighted by the money she's about to earn. As she counts imaginary bills, Henry's mom questions, will you really not need needles or medicine? Lucy grins, to cure Grandpa, I just need to give him one prick. Watch. She casts her spell, and Grandpa instantly feels better, even standing up with renewed strength. He gratefully praises Lucy for saving his life. Lucy brings a pill for Grandpa, and Henry's mom insists that her father take the medicine to recover completely. However, when Grandpa sees the medicine in Lucy's hands, he is shocked and exclaims that it looks more like a basketball than actual medicine. Grandpa gets very angry with Henry's decision, and Henry's mom also expresses her frustration, saying that her husband has cheated on her and that she will not allow him to take any share, no matter what he does. She then calls her husband and orders him to reach the competition immediately, warning that something bad will happen to him if he doesn't. Out of fear, he quickly leaves for the venue. In the next scene, the competition begins. And all the judges and contestants are welcomed. Lucy is one of the 6 contestants, and she is very excited to win the $1 million. Meanwhile, Shehan is talking to his sister when his cousin arrives and mentions that he had been away for work. He clarifies that, unlike their father, he genuinely went for business purposes. As the first round of the competition starts, all contestants must demonstrate their knife skills by preparing a dish. Lucy is thrilled by the challenge, while Lynn taunts her, saying that she lacks the necessary skills and will fail. Lynn adds that once the judges taste Lucy's food, they will realize she is unqualified. However, Lucy advises Lynn to focus on herself instead. Surprisingly, Lucy successfully passes the first round. In the second round, Lucy faces an unexpected setback as her ingredients go missing. Everyone assumes she will lose, unaware that this was part of Lynn's scheme to sabotage her. But Lucy skillfully solves the problem with a magic spell and prepares a fish soup. Seeing this, Henry realizes that Lucy has a particular fondness for fish. When the judges taste the dishes, they are so impressed with Lucy's soup that they keep asking for more. Eventually, only 3 contestants qualify for the final round. Lucy, Lynn, and one other competitor. As the third round begins, another contestant secretly places a harmful pod in Lucy's dish to ruin it, following Lynn's orders. Meanwhile, everyone is puzzled as they notice Lucy preparing a simple egg fried rice dish. They doubt her chances of winning, wondering why she would make such a basic meal for a prestigious competition. However, Grandpa believes Lucy must have a reason for her decision. As the dish nears completion, the judges speculate that Lucy is bound to lose. Once finished, Lucy casually sits down and begins eating her fried rice, further confusing everyone. Observers start whispering that she has no real intention of competing. However, as the aroma of her dish spreads, Grandpa and some of the judges approach her. When Grandpa takes a bite, he is astonished. Henry's mom, noticing his reaction, asks what happened, to which he suggests she taste it herself. As more people try Lucy's fried rice, they are amazed by its incredible flavor. Unable to believe such a simple dish could taste so good, the judges are delighted and immediately score her highly. Lucy then explains that she made the fried rice for herself because she was hungry, while her actual competition dish was a fish recipe. Hearing this, the judges and audience rush to try her fish dish. Lucy panics, knowing there will be nothing left for her, and laments how difficult it is to enjoy her own food. Shehan reassures her, offering to take her out to eat after the competition. Lucy, however, doubts any restaurant food could compare to her own. Meanwhile, Lynn grows furious and tells Lucy that even if the judges like her dish, she will not be happy for long. Lucy sarcastically asks Lynn how she could tell that she was enjoying herself. The host then requests the judges to announce the winner, and Lucy is declared victorious. Overjoyed, she heads to the stage to collect her prize, while Lynn protests that Lucy should not have won, arguing that she had the correct ingredients. Grandpa responds that despite its simplicity, Lucy's dish was the tastiest. The audience erupts in chants of Lucy's name, acknowledging her as the true champion. The host then invites Henry to present the award to Lucy. Excitedly, Lucy eagerly awaits her prize. When she is presented with a large sum of money and a gold belt, she quickly grabs the cash. Grandpa informs her that the gold belt is also highly valuable, worth $1 billion. Upon hearing this, Lucy swiftly puts on the belt. However, just as everyone is celebrating, people in the audience suddenly clutch their stomachs and collapse in pain. Lynn seizes the moment to accuse Lucy of poisoning them. Unfazed, Lucy quickly gathers her money into a sack and hands it to Shehan for safekeeping. Lynn scolds her, saying she is heartless for worrying about her money while people are suffering. Lucy insists that she did not poison anyone. One of Lynn's accomplices claims that people fell sick only after eating Lucy's food. Henry steps in, stating that they should analyze the ingredients first. However, his cousin pessimistically remarks that the news will spread, tarnishing their reputation. Lucy then notices Juan and asks who he is. He introduces himself as a good friend of Henry, though Lucy recalls that he is actually Henry's rival conspiring with Lynn. Realizing this, she shares her suspicions with Henry and Shehan. They begin questioning whether Lynn has been betraying Henry all along. Lynn continues accusing Lucy, urging her to admit to poisoning the guests. Lucy refuses to accept blame for something she didn't do. Another contestant accuses her of using dishonest tactics to win the competition, claiming she is capable of anything. Shehan defends Lucy, saying there must be a misunderstanding. However, the contestant insists that it is no coincidence that the judges, audience, and host all fell ill after consuming Lucy's food. Han then confronts Henry, asking if he is protecting Lucy simply because she is his wife. As reporters get wind of the story, they rush to cover the scandal, eager to expose Mr. Henry's wife as the culprit behind the mass poisoning. Despite the chaos, Lucy remains entirely unbothered, focused only on securing her golden winnings. Shah says, "Sister-in-law, do something. If you don't prove yourself, all the money you have will be taken back." Lucy feels bad, wondering how they could take back what they had already given her. She responds, "How can you prove that they got sick after eating my food?" Lynn quickly says, "I saw it with my own eyes." Lucy counters, "If that's the case, then these people ate your food after mine. Who knows? Maybe something was mixed in your dish, which caused their sickness." Shah takes Lucy's side, saying, "Yes, Lynn, these people tasted your dish last. Why are you not considering that possibility? Maybe you mixed something in it." Lynn gets defensive and says, "You are falsely accusing me just because you are getting trapped." She then turns to Shah and says, "Call the police. Lucy poisoned everyone." Lucy, staying calm, says, "I have proof of my innocence." Han looks surprised, "You really have proof?" Lucy smirks, thinking Han must be underestimating her. She then calls the entire team and asks them to arrange all the ingredients and water in a bowl. After performing a magic spell, she tells Henry, "Now, have all the sick people drink this water, they will recover." Lynn protests, "Henry, why are you listening to her? She is talking nonsense." Henry, firm in his stance, says, "If I don't believe her, should I believe you?" Lucy recalls how Lynn once abandoned Henry when he was poor, only to return once she found out he was wealthy. Soon, everyone drinks Lucy's remedy, and miraculously, they recover instantly. Grandpa then demands to know who tried to sabotage the competition. A call from the investigation team confirms that the sickness was caused by tainted ingredients. Suddenly, one of Lynn's accomplices steps forward and says, "This was found on your table, Lynn." Lucy smirks and says, "Now what do you have to say? This wasn't found at my table but at that contestant's table." The contestant panics, denying the accusation. The event organizers suggest checking the CCTV footage to confirm the truth. Henry immediately asks for the footage. Seeing this, Han and Lynn try to divert attention, but the video clearly reveals that Lynn had plotted against Lucy. Realizing their mistake, Han and Lynn apologize to Henry. Lynn pleads, "Please don't let this ruin our relationship." Henry, disgusted, pushes her away. "Tell all this to the police, not me," he says. He then turns to Han and sarcastically asks, "By the way, since when have you and Lynn been together?" He smirks, adding, "Anyway, she's all yours now." As Henry and Lucy prepare to leave, Lucy reminds them, "Don't forget my money." Desperate, Lynn begs Grandpa for forgiveness. He sighs, "I truly thought you were a good girl, but you're not even welcome here anymore. You're fired." Chow, furious, says, "Did you think we are fools? You can't mess with our family and get away with it." Lynn and Han are left in shock as their entire plan crumbles. Meanwhile, Shay drinks heavily, heartbroken over Lynn's betrayal. Lucy, however, is overjoyed, celebrating her victory and wealth. Shay asks, "Do you girls really get this happy over money?" Lucy laughs, "Of course. Do you want to be a girl? I can help you." Jokingly, she casts a spell, causing their souls to switch. Lucy's soul enters Henry's body, and Henry's soul enters Lucy's. Lucy, now in Henry's body, excitedly exclaims, "I'm a boy." Henry, feeling strange, suddenly clutches his chest. Why is my heart beating so fast, he wonders. He moves closer to Lucy, now in his body, to test his reaction. Embarrassed, Lucy quickly reverses the spell and runs away. Later, Lucy and Henry's sister, Xiao, go to a club and enjoy a luxurious massage with handsome male models. Meanwhile, Henry stays home, deep in thought about Lucy. He wonders, she was so shy. Could she be thinking about me? On the other side, Han, his father, and Lin reflect on their failure. Han's father, having once deceived Henry's mother, had already been cut off from the family, and now they plot their next move. The next day, Henry and Lucy attend an auction event. Seeing Lucy looking tired, Henry assumes, she must have been thinking about me all night. Sony Pai notices Lin and asks, what happened? Did you go to the nightclub last night? Lucy, unaware, replies, how do you know? Did you go too? Meanwhile, Han and Henry get into an argument. Henry mocks Han's failing company, you've already suffered losses. What can you do now? The bidding begins, and the participants must identify and bid on valuable jade stones. Lucy, using her knowledge, helps Henry correctly identify the stones, leading them to win big. Han tries to outbid Henry, but Henry outbids him at the last moment. The host announces, now, the stones will be checked for authenticity. Lucy confidently steps forward, saying, I'll do it myself. Lin laughs, do you think you're that strong? Lucy proves her wrong by breaking a stone effortlessly. Everyone is stunned. Henry rushes to check Lucy's hand, worried she might be hurt. Lucy reassures him, I'm fine. She continues breaking the stones, proving that all the stones Henry bid on were real jades, while Han and Lin's stones were fake. Lucy smirks, see? You profited, didn't you? I told you that listening to me would benefit you. Henry, turning to Han, boasts, what do you have to say now? I'm richer than you, and you're even poorer. Han is devastated upon realizing how much money he has lost. Back home, Lucy and Henry share a romantic dinner. Henry teases, which looks better, this jade stone or me? Lucy playfully holds his face, smiles, and says, you. She then kisses him. Henry, overjoyed, asks, can we not get divorced? Lucy grins, I'll think about it if you feed me fish. Without hesitation, Henry lifts her in his arms and carries her to their room, and with that, their story has a happy ending. If you like video, please like and subscribe.